Hey guys, welcome back to Embers and Ash. My name's Ashley, if you didn't know, and I'm pregnant, which you probably already know because I posted a pregnancy announcement video. So right now it is in the past. I am 5 weeks pregnant right now, so you won't be seeing this for a while. But I wanted to share with you guys my fertility journey because it took us 6 months to get pregnant, which isn't that long, but it felt like an eternity and you never know when it's gonna end. And it took some effort to get pregnant. It didn't just take 9 months just trying, like we actually went to a doctor. So, I wanted to share my journey with you guys so you can help yourself out and get pregnant. And yeah, so my husband and I have been married for a year and a half, and we had previously talked that at a year we would start trying. I was very excited very early. I wanted to try earlier than that, but that's fine. And so our anniversary is in June. I convinced him to start trying in May. And I honestly thought I would get pregnant right away because I'm 24, which is like prime baby producing years. And everyone that knew that we were gonna start trying told me that as well. Like, oh, you'll get pregnant right away. You won't have any issues. You're young, you're fine. Not true. So the first month, May, we weren't like super intentional. We just stopped protecting. I should tell you what kind of birth control we're using. That's important. So we're doing the fertility awareness method, which is where you track your temperature every morning, and you can find out when you ovulate based on a spike in your temperature, and you just have protected sex for the leading days up to that ovulation, and then the rest of the month you can have unprotected sex. So because we're using that method, it's really easy to transition into trying to conceive because you just stop using protection. So that's just what we did. We weren't intentional about the timing or anything for May, and nothing happened. I took a pregnancy test, nothing happened, and I was like, oh, weird. Why was I like so worried about getting pregnant before? Didn't think much of it. I was like, actually, no, I did think much of it. I was scared because I thought because it didn't happen the first time, there's so many unknowns. Like, it could happen in 1 month or a year. Like, it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I was still okay. And then June came around and we were very intentional about the timing of things, and then still no positive, which was a bit more heartbreaking. Especially when you, like in that 2-week wait, you start like making up in your mind that you're getting symptoms when really they're just PMS symptoms. It's really sad. It's really hard to go through. That was fine though, so it's only 2 months or 1 month of actually trying. So then we tried July and still nothing, and that's when I started to get concerned. I started looking into all the things I need to change in my life. I need to eat grapefruit to improve my cervical fluid. I need to drink more water. I need to do this and that, and I need to stop eating this and that. And you know, it really gets all consuming. Is that the phrase? And it's so stressful, like, and it's hard on your spouse as well. Like, it makes me so sad thinking back to it. Like, it's so hard when all you want is a baby and your body is supposed to do this, but it's not doing it. So August, I went and saw a naturopath. So how things work in Canada is if you go to your regular family doctor, which is free under MSP free healthcare, they won't help you unless you've been trying for a year, which I get for people who don't have anything wrong and they're just worried and they just want to get all the tests done, but then they're fine and they get pregnant. But also, like, some people know something's wrong and they still won't get help. So what I thought was wrong with me is I had been temperature tracking, right, for all this time since I was married, and I always noticed that my temperatures weren't quite where they were supposed to be, but they were still like pretty okay. So I had my pre-ovulation temperature, and then I'll put a picture of it, and then I get a big dip for pre-ovulation and then a spike for ovulation, but the difference between pre-ovulation and post-ovulation were really not that far off, when really there's supposed to be a difference in temperature. I'll also show what a graph is supposed to look like. So I still ovulated every month, so I thought it was fine, but my graph really wasn't as good as I thought it was supposed to be, and And so I have a naturopath friend that she lives far away, so I messaged her and just got her advice on, does my chart look off? Because I think it looks off, and she agreed. So that's why I booked the naturopath appointment, because I thought something was wrong and I knew that regular healthcare wasn't going to help me. So I went to a naturopath who specializes in fertility. And yeah, she looked at my chart and said it was off. And so that was like really reassuring, but also like sad to know that I need to work on it and that we're not just gonna get a baby, like we have to fight for it. It's so tough. I'm gonna get my sheet. Okay, I'm not sure if I have everything here, but I have some of the things. Okay, so she actually prints out all the things you need to do, which is really nice because sometimes you go to a doctor and they just tell you a bunch of things and then you leave and you forget everything. So I actually have it printed out. So the first thing she wanted me to do was get my hormones tested and my iron tested. So we tested my estrogen, my progesterone, and my thyroid hormones, which is a bunch of them, and then my iron, like I said. She had a suspicion that my iron was low. I'm not like a really tired person, so I didn't think it was, but she wanted to test it because it's so common in women, right? She said I might have she did a full physical on me, and she said my thyroid is a little inflamed, not bad, but she wanted to get that tested. She said she doesn't think I have PCOS or endometriosis. So for the most part, things were looking good. And she was just like so lovely. Naturopaths are so nice because you walk in and it's like you have a relationship with this person and it just feels more homey in there, like not a sterilized office and a monotone conversation with someone. It's so nice. So I went and got that blood work done. She also told me to stop using tampons and use a Diva cup or switch to organic tampons, because cotton is the most sprayed crop in the world and you're literally putting pesticide infused cotton up your hoo-ha where you're trying to make a baby, which is not good. So switch to a Diva cup or organic tampons, and then coffee is the second most sprayed crop in the world, so switch to organic coffee. So that was really nice. Again, like it's more lifestyle things that are so useful that I don't think you would get from your regular family doctor. She also wanted Josh to get a sperm analysis. He was reluctant to do it because we hadn't been trying that long, which I get, but my doctor's reasoning was that if you find something wrong in the sperm, it takes like 4 months to fix it. I don't know all the details. So if you leave it to last, then you have to wait another 4 months. So that's why she wanted us to get on top of it, and it wasn't that expensive. Oh, I should also say, naturopaths aren't covered under regular MSP free healthcare. So I'm paying for all this. We have some private healthcare coverage, not a lot. So we did want to minimize how many tests we were gonna take because it comes out of our pocket, right? So that was her suggestion. And then just a couple hormone balancing pills. I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want you to just go out and buy pills and then screw your body up. Like, I'm not a doctor. Go see your doctor to figure out how to fix your body. Yeah, so I just got some random pills, and that was it for the first appointment. That was August 20th. So that was after I had ovulated that month. And so she said I need to get my hormones tested on day 20 or 21 of my cycle, because that's when you just can tell the most from your hormones, because they all are like changing throughout the month, right? So I had to wait for September's day 21 of my cycle. And I was like, sweet. The end of August came around and I still wasn't pregnant, and it really was heartbreaking. Like, you don't know till you go through it, like how hard it is to get that negative result every month. Like, yeah, honestly, I wish I did like a diary of each month to show you guys what it's like to go through fertility issues, because it's rough, but I won't indulge too much. I had booked my next appointment with my naturopath for the cycle after that blood work. So that's October. And so September came and we went on a couple trips. We went on that Banff trip. If you'd seen that vlog, that was a while ago now. And it was time to start trying, so we started trying, but my temperature didn't rise when I expected it to. So I was like, oh, I guess my ovulation is a little late, which that can just happen sporadically. That's fine, we'll just keep trying and we'll wait till I ovulate. And days kept going by and I didn't get that spike in temperature, and to summarize it, I didn't ovulate that month, and that was honestly so hard. I shouldn't be talking about this while I'm pregnant because I'm gonna get emotional. That was, oh my gosh, like when you go that many months of trying and getting that negative test, it's hard, but then going from that to a month where you don't even ovulate, it feels like such a huge step back, and like your body's betraying you. Like all those months I was just hoping for a pregnancy test to be positive, and now I'm just hoping that I ovulate. Like I didn't even realize what I had back then, that I was ovulating. And I was like, what did I do wrong? Like I started taking pills that people on YouTube started suggesting, and I was like, that totally probably screwed up my cycle and I ruined it, and it was probably this and that. And it was just a really tough month of just fighting with my body, like trying to force it to ovulate. It was really good for my growth, and I hate saying that because like difficult times in your life make you a better person, but like coming out of that, I had to come to terms with the fact that I don't have control over my body. It's gonna do what it needs to do, and I just have to treat it the best that I can and hope that it responds the way I want it to. And also that like I don't have control of things, God only has control of things, and I was getting mad at him for not even getting pregnant, and then I didn't even ovulate. Like I needed to give up control. So it was really good for me, whatever. By the end of that month, I had a lot of peace and just, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do my best. I am doing my best. I'm going to see a doctor to make sure we can do everything we can, but we can't do everything. And because I didn't ovulate, that blood work that I took wasn't helpful, because the reason it's day 21 is that it's 7 days after ovulation, and I didn't ovulate, so that wasn't good. And then when I did get my period, which I think I had like a 35 or 37 day cycle or something, it came hard. Like thank goodness it was a Saturday when I got it and not a work day, because I woke up early in the morning with cramps, and I was just like on the couch like in pain, and I was like, do I need to buy Midol? Like I haven't dealt with cramps like this since I was a teenager. Like I'm not prepared. So, and it's just because like at that point when you don't ovulate, you're not having a real period. It's just your uterine lining is building up throughout the month, and it becomes unstable, and that's why it sheds, not because of your hormone change. So it sheds with aggression. So that was fun. And I went to my next naturopath appointment and walked in there, and she's like, how's it going? And I was like, I didn't ovulate this month, and just like started crying. And I was like, I'm okay, I've dealt with this. It's just hard. You feel like a failure, like admitting that you are broken, right? But she was really nice about it, and she's like, yeah, like I can tell from your test that your progesterone was really low. So I should explain, if you don't know, at the start of your month, your estrogen builds up until ovulation, and then it drops and your progesterone builds, and then you get another little spike of estrogen sometime in there. So if you don't ovulate, your progesterone doesn't build. My progesterone level was really low, and my estrogen looked fine. And oh, I didn't even mention, so I went to the naturopath thinking that I was low in progesterone because my temperature didn't rise on those charts, and that's what I had read online. And because the test for progesterone didn't work because I didn't ovulate, it was so frustrating, because like that was the thing I really wanted to know, on top of all the other things that were frustrating. But the good thing is that there was other blood work that did give us information. So my thyroid information was, there's multiple hormones. One of them is like a storage of hormones that gets turned into one that's a useful type of hormone. Like you can use this one, you can't use this one, but this one turns into this one. So I had enough of the storage one, but not enough of the active one, but it wasn't super low. And this again is why I love naturopaths, because she, instead of putting me on pills because I wasn't so low, she just got me to change my diet a little bit. So adding seafood that is high in iodine really helps your thyroid, taking iron and taking zinc, but those are both in my prenatals. So that was really awesome. And then the real kicker was I was anemic, which I had no idea. And it's so funny because like, so my symptoms of anemia, if you don't know what anemia is, it is being really low in iron. It's very common in women, but anyways, I never got the severe tiredness that people usually get with anemia, so I didn't think that I was. My symptoms were breathlessness, dizzy, and a crazy beating heart and anxiety. So at my previous appointment, I mentioned to her that I would get moments of like I can't breathe and my heart is beating so fast and I just need to lay down and I feel so anxious, and I thought I was getting anxiety that caused my body to go into like panic, when really my body was low on iron, causing me to not be able to breathe, so I was getting anxious about that, which is so funny. Yeah, and then also like at work, I do like a lot of weeding, right? I'm a landscaper, and every time I would like go down and then stand up, I would get a little dizzy, but then like keep going. But it wasn't enough that I would really like mentally take note of it, and also I've always been like that, so I didn't think something was wrong. Like, if that's just what life is, you don't think it's wrong, right? So I was like, oh, that's why I'm dizzy, I guess. So that was nice to find out. And so here's the thing. She put me on iron pills, but she said you can only get so much iron per month. Like, you can take as much iron as you want, but your body will only absorb so much. So it would take me like 6 months to get up to an okay level of iron, which if I get pregnant in that time, a symptom of low iron in pregnancy is morning sickness, like crazy morning sickness. So I was like, I don't want any of that. So she suggested that I get iron infusions, which is where you get an IV of iron just stuck right in you. And that will bump me up to a level that is like okay, and then use iron pills to like keep bumping it up slowly. And at first I was a little hesitant because it is expensive, and I only had coverage for like half of that, but I was really scared of morning sickness, so I went and did it, and it was great. Like, you just sit there for an hour with an IV in, and there's this like brown fluid. It's kind of weird, and I honestly felt like I would feel like Superwoman after, like all this new energy, but really I just wasn't dizzy or anxious anymore, whatever. And then she got me to retest my estrogen and progesterone for the following month because it didn't work last time, and then to eat sea salt and seafood for my iodine for my thyroid. And then she again told me to get Josh to get tested because it's really important. Yeah, and then to carry on with the other stuff from previous months. So that was the end of September. So that cycle ended and I started my new cycle, and I noticed that my pre-ovulation temperatures were really low compared to normal months. Normally I'm at like 36.3 average for pre-ovulation, and I was at like 36.0, 35.9, like quite low, which was really exciting because that meant that I might have a good like differential between pre-ovulation and post-ovulation. Also, if you want to know, it's called follicular and luteal phase, but I'm just saying pre and post ovulation for people who don't know that. So I like had a little inkling that my temperatures were gonna be good this month, but whatever, we just carried on with the month, and I sure enough ovulated, and we did the deed as we needed to. And then day 21 came around and I got my blood work done, and I was really excited because I knew I ovulated that month. And then I waited my 2 weeks and I was pregnant. Like, insane. When you go through so many months of those negatives, you just lose all hope. Like, you take your tests just in case, but you don't expect a positive. So what had happened was I had balanced my hormones with those pills that she was giving me, and I'm assuming that my iron had a part in it too, helping my body be more balanced, and also like changing my diet a little bit, just getting my body in sync made my chart how it was supposed to be, which means that my hormones were balanced, right? And because of that, I could get pregnant. And it's just so relieving because like the whole time you just don't know what's wrong. You don't know if it's even possible to get pregnant. You don't know if it's you or if it's your partner, and there's like nothing like the relief of finding out you're pregnant. I didn't film it because I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen. I'm not gonna tell the whole story about how it happened because Josh says it's too personal, but I found out in the morning. I just was bawling. I ran into the bedroom and told him, and he cried, and it was just unreal. Like, and then we went to work and we were like, what are we doing here? I'm pregnant. I should be celebrating. Oh, yeah. So I would highly recommend going to a doctor if you think that something's wrong and just starting to get things tested. And also, even if you don't think anything's wrong, if you can go to the doctor just to find out everything's gonna be okay for if you do get pregnant, because when I went to my appointment after I found out I was pregnant with my naturopath and told her I was pregnant, we already had so much information about me, and we had seen that my progesterone was in fact a little low, so she could already put me on progesterone supplements, which will help maintain the baby. Which, if I hadn't done any of this work before pregnancy, I wouldn't know, right? And that could be dangerous to the baby. I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope it was helpful and encouraging for if you're going along this journey. If you like this video, you might like my video where I talk about my early pregnancy symptoms in that 2-week wait, right before I got my positive pregnancy test. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.